Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. So we were discussing this very practical, important and significant concept. Some say that this is the main concept in Bhagavad Gita. I was just thinking, when you look at anything from a smaller perspective, of a narrow perspective, or rather a fraction of the whole picture. You know, the children play that jigsaw puzzle. Every small pieces, individually it may not give any picture to you, but when they join together, there is a complete picture available. So think that the whole game is this. Your every life is that one piece in the jigsaw puzzle. We can never have the full idea about ourselves unless you go to the manual where the whole picture is given, and then you imagine and try to make a picture out of it, or join all the fractions of the jigsaw puzzle. So Vedanta or Hinduism is a philosophy of freedom, how to achieve freedom. Now, people interpret it, freedom from what? Why do you think we are not free? These are basic questions comes, and because of that there are misunderstanding and quarrel and even fight for the religions. From spiritual standpoint, I have heard some monks telling, before you have a desire for liberation, you must have this understanding that yes, I am not free till now. Those who do not have idea that they are bound, how they can have idea that freedom is my goal? If you are born in a situation where you don't have any concept of a higher, freer or better life, you think this is better. That's why happiness is a very relative term. Those who have very little means to live the life, even small thing makes them happy. And when you have many choices, even the best thing doesn't make you happy. So it is not the thing which makes you happy or not, but that thing, when it comes to you, your situation makes it an occasion of happiness or a misery. You give a chocolate to a child will be super happy sometimes, correct? But any one of us get a chocolate doesn't make us happy. So the happiness doesn't come from the chocolate, it comes from my situation in my mind. So, you cannot change the world. What you can change is yourself. If I am miserable and I keep on finding fault with people around me, that because of them I am miserable, you can't change them. You can't remove them. You can't bring the people of your choice or situation of your choice. But you can change yourself in terms of making the thing happier for you. If your desire is, if your expectation is very high, and if somebody doesn't perform that well or somebody doesn't give you up to that standard, you are not happy. But there are other people with you who are happy because they did not expect that. Many times it happens with the food. Same food is served. Some say it is good, some say it is not good. How the same food can be good and not good together? Because those who say it is not good, that food doesn't meet their expectation. Maybe their expectation was much higher. And those who did not expect, whatever they got, they are happy in that. So happiness and misery, happiness and unhappiness, they say it is your contribution. It is not coming from outside, from this point of view. If it coming from outside, then the same thing should make everybody happy or everybody unhappy. How the same thing makes some people happy, some people unhappy. They say the action and reaction. So the thing come to you is an action. Your reaction to that makes the whole thing positive or negative, happy experience or not happy experience. You know, in one place, Krishna says to Arjuna that I know the whole picture, you do not know. That's why you have this kind of attitude. So, you depend on a philosophy, you depend on something which sees your life from a wider or a higher perspective. You know, generally, earlier it was not there, now, in our case, it is mandatory now. For example, if you have fever, temperature, so any one of us will take one Panadol. And we do it. And whether Panadol is given by a doctor or by a common man, temperature will come down if it is proper medicine. I am not belittling practices, but when a huge country is there, then not everything is supervised by government or police or authority. I remember we had a boy who used to work in our dispensary. Work as what? Cleaning, sweeping, mopping. But was very good looking. Very tall, 6 feet tall, very fair complexion. But he is a poor man. He is uneducated. So he does this cleaning work. And he worked for quite a long time in our dispensary. So one day he got a thought. What is there in the doctor? I am telling you a true story. I am not imagining anything here. Why people go to the doctor? They say he studied medicine many years, and with his experience he diagnoses the condition and gives medicine. So he says, I can never do this in my life because I am not educated. I don't even know how to read and write properly. And he discussed with very, very few people, is there any shortcut? There is no shortcut, you have to be a doctor. He said, no, there is a shortcut. Look at that uneducated man. It is very risky, very funny and very risky to allow these practices to happen. We also did not allow. As soon as we came, we told him to leave. When the patients come out, what happened to you? No, I have fever. What is the meaning of fever? No, temperature. So in his own language, he wrote down, fever means bukhar or something. What medicine doctor gave? Patient also doesn't know. This is a medicine given. So he P, E, R. He doesn't know what he's writing. A, B, he's just copying. That means next time a person comes with temperature, I should give this medicine. So he made a list of symptoms and he made the appropriate medicine which doctor used to give. But he is afraid also. By chance something different happens, those cases he will not take. Believe me, he left our place and after 2-3 years I saw him coming with a suited, booted person. So I told him, I am very happy to see you that you have progressed well. What do you do now? I have a clinic in my village. Means you work with a doctor? No. I see the patients. I said, how you can see the patients? So I said, sorry, we will not allow this practice to happen. You do whatever you like in your village. And when he finds that case is little difficult, he with a serious face will tell to the client, there is something serious. You have to go to the main city to show to the doctor. I may not be able to treat you. Because he is confused between two symptoms. And he still lives his life. What I am telling, your law comes later. His survival for him is first. Many things are there. You will find our previous generations, Indian housewives in Indian villages, anybody, any old person you go and ask, I have some temperature, what should I do? Definitely 2 or 3 different remedies he or she will give you. Take these leaves or take this hot water or take this masala or take these spices or something they will tell, not medicine. Why we are telling this? When you see anything partially, the total dynamics are different. When you put everything into one picture, then dynamics are different. When you say, this is the only life, this is only life, I don't want to think what I was before my birth, I don't want to think what will be after my death, this is the life. And in modern way, people say, oh, this is the only life, live it. If I have to live my life happily, if there is no life, because we don't have a proof of our previous life or a future life, I have to live this life. Why should I have a moral bindings? Why should I have a moral bindings? I have to live my life. Maybe I hurt you, harm you, kill you. I want to live my life. But still, we don't do it. What stops you? Police stops you? The law stops you? Of course it stops you in one way. But there is something from within which stops you. No, I should not do this. What is that? That conscience tells you this is wrong. When I say this is wrong, with relation to something it is wrong, correct? What is that code of conduct which we do not know, we do not have anything in writing, we can't say even, but still it exists in my mind, it exists in my heart which says no, this is wrong. And mostly that works. What makes us to behave moral? Why we do not practice? immoral or injusticeful, do something. Not everywhere police or authority or somebody is there. No. There is something within you who stops you from doing something wrong. And that is not only in human being, that also sometimes found in little developed animals. If you have pet dogs in your house, you know, dogs, if it does something wrong, it is shy, sits in the corner because it did something wrong. And you don't have a very standard high breed of dog. Any stray dog also is the dog. I remember, it was before my joining, we had a dog. So an incident happens. All the family members are out. Some went to mission or some went to work or whatever. Only one person was there at home. My father was at home. The dog is tied in one corner and somebody comes to visit the house, the friend of my father. The dog barked a few times, then kept quiet. When the gentleman got up and going, at that time, he jumped. But he was tied, so he cannot reach the person. So my father went and told, quiet. But he is angry that some new person has come. So he just caught out the hand of my father, the dog. And of course the dog was angry, so there was a drop of blood in the hand. But as soon as he did that, the dog withdrew himself and sat in a corner. The gentleman went away. So my father went and told, see what you have done. And what a mute animal can show the apology, you have to see that. You can see that tears are coming out. You see that the dog is rolling at the feet and asking for forgiveness as if, okay. Then we all family members came one by one from wherever we were. To each and everybody the dog apologized. A mute animal cannot speak. But there is something inside, a small code of conduct, that this I did something wrong. If an animal can have, we all human beings have that. And actually that controls all of us. So coming back to this, that if you have a wider picture, if you have a larger picture, then your decision will be different. If you have a small picture, the narrow picture, then you cannot have the same effect of the full picture effect. So this philosophy came that what you are today, physically or mentally, intellectually, spiritually, etc., is because of the cumulative effect of your past lives and effect of your, till now, the life you are leading. What you will be in future depends on this life, what you are doing. So there is a wider picture. Because of that, there is a separate moral code of conduct. This is where karma philosophy comes. All the religion which came out of the Indian subcontinent, mainly Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, all of them believe in the same set of beliefs. One is karma, one is reincarnation. Karma has many meanings. The action which you do is karma. The result of karma is also called karma. You say, oh, my karma. The result of action also is karma. I told once, many times the word is the same, but you use in different sense. The word Atma is a relative term for which you use. If all of us are here, I am here, correct? I am. I am showing my body or my mind. With respect to body, my mind is Atma, body is an object. With respect to intellect, mind is object and intellect is Atma. So, that which is a subjective reality takes the name of Atman anywhere when there is an object. With respect to the object, the subject is called Atma. So, Atma is nothing but the subject. We gave an example one day. If you are interested in the game of cricket, in the cricket there is one word they use for wicket. The number of players also called wicket. The stump is also called wicket. The pitch is also called wicket. It's the same word used for different objects or different persons or different articles. So the whole philosophy comes from this point of view. Somebody was asking me, I said, we are not here to prove that my religion is correct and you know, this is all foolishness. That some other religions are wrong, my religion is wrong. That fight, those who want to do, let them do. But do you understand the true picture according to your religion? That's fine. And then you hear the standpoint of other religions. And whatever you feel logical, you take it. Whatever you feel that suits you, that you take it. We all are different. All have uniqueness. Our faces are different, our body works differently, reacts differently. We have set of allergies could be different, we have liking, disliking could be different. We are all unique. None of us are duplicate of each other. Then why we should be different? Something which makes you different. And what makes you different is what you have done in earlier life. That's what Hinduism believes. Otherwise everybody should be the same. But no, we are all different. So this is one way of thinking. People accept, people don't accept. Another philosophy which we believe and which helps us to become a better person or a spiritual person is the effect of your karma is not destructible. How? You know, in science also we believe, or we have accepted it, the cause and effect relationship. If this is an object, there is a cause of these objects, material cause and also they call it immanent cause. If this specs is either made of metal, glass, etc., and there are one or two, three people involved in making this from the piece of glass or from metal. So one is the material. Out of this object is made. 2, 3, 4 types of material is joined together. And there are 2, 3, 4 types of people who have worked behind it. Any article you take, this cloth. Maybe this cotton is grown in Egypt somewhere, we don't know. Maybe it was plucked by some farmers. It went to the cotton mill and the threads were made by some group of people. Then the threads went to some cloth mill and became a cloth. Then a person came to dye it and then somebody stitched it. So to wear one piece of cloth, at least 15, 20, 100 people are involved in what you are wearing today. Nobody is an individual in this world. Nobody is on an island. We all are interdependable. We understand or don't understand, we accept or don't accept. But this is truth. That we cannot say, I don't depend on anyone. You depend on hundreds of people in what you are. With that, you depend on your karma also, which makes you what you are. If you want to be better, do better. Because what I am today is because of my past actions. What I will be tomorrow depends on my past and present actions. Past actions I cannot change, but present actions I can change. My immediate future actions I can change. Because that freedom is with you. You can do it, you don't do it, or don't do it otherwise. Different way you do. That's how you progress in your life. All of us start our journey from somewhere. But to be more progressive in life, from spiritual sense also, you become conscious that consciously I will not harm anyone or hurt anyone. Consciously. So when you speak, you keep a track. When you do something, you keep a track. Oh, what I do should not be harmful to someone. But the way I am speaking or what I am speaking should not be harmful to someone. We do a mistake. Unconsciously we do, but consciously we should not do. Many things are there which you do not see, you do not perceive. So, you may be harming. When you walk any time, maybe you are trampling upon many insects or we do not know. But that you do not know, you are not aware about it. When you drink water, are you aware that you are drinking so many microbes? We are not aware. Sometimes even if you are aware, you do it. Jokingly I was telling other day, when we were discussing about vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. Even which food is vegetarian, you decide. Same food is accepted as a vegetarian food by some people and same food is accepted as a non-vegetarian food by some people. It's the way you want to see it. The egg comes out of the bird is a non-vegetarian food and milk which comes out of the cow is vegetarian. It depends on you how you want to take it. To kill a bird or an animal, of course it is non-vegetarian, it's not a vegetable, but vegetable also has a life. But there are some which are vegetarian, it is made only of grains and pulses and all that. But we all know, when you ferment anything in previous night, all the bacteria grow there. Without that, there is no fermentation. Fermentation means growth of bacteria. And they are living beings. How that can become vegetarian? But it is vegetarian because you have accepted it. It doesn't matter. We don't have a quarrel or confusion about it. What we are telling is, it is you who will decide. This is acceptable for me, this is not acceptable for me. This I consider vegetarian, this I consider non-vegetarian. I don't take non-vegetarian, I take only vegetarian. But what about this? No, I consider that as a vegetarian. Okay, take it. There is no classification as such. And after a lot of thinking and discussions and all that, at least I came to conclusion for myself. If I want to continue living, if I do not want to die, we say no. If you want to continue to live, you must eat food. I go one step forward. If you want to continue to live, someone must donate their life to you. Without that, you cannot continue to live. Your life depends on somebody keeps on adding life to you. Food, for example, keeps on adding life. in you. We do not eat anything which doesn't have life. Inert things are not part of our menu. Yeah, part of the cutlery, part of a dining table, but it's not part of our food. Whether vegetarian or non-vegetarian, we take only living beings, whether vegetable or otherwise. Without that you cannot survive. Your life comes from someone's life. They give life, so you continue to live your life. This is the game. This is the game. You can't take inert things. If I'm hungry, I can't take this microphone. I can't eat. But I eat something which is alive, or which had a life. When you take a handful of rice, this doesn't move by itself. It doesn't move, but it's a living being. You want to see it? Put it in the earth and you will find it sprouts. Life is already there inside. Otherwise you cannot eat it. Healthy food. You use the pulses and other things and sprout it overnight. Then take it. Very healthy, because the life comes more vivid there. You can't take rice like that, so you cook it. You cannot take the grains, pulses like that, so you overnight put some water. Morning it sprouts. Sprouts means what? It comes to life. If you allow it, it becomes a plant and has a capacity to give more grains to it. So the life comes from life. We cannot take anything which doesn't have life. So all this, many times when people say, I say, oh, we are not interested in that discussion at all. You take what makes you to take. But one thing is certain, you are going to take something which either has life or had life. You don't take anything which doesn't have life. So it's a matter of what food you want to take. You decide. Milk is vegetarian, carry on. How can I take milk? There are some famous people, not that they become vegan, not from that point of view. There was a great social reformer called Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Sri Ramakrishna Mission. He said, I don't take milk. Why? Because we are committing sin of depriving the calf from taking milk. So calf is brought to the cow, allow him to take little, and then you remove the calf and take the milk out. That's what from hundreds of thousands of years we are all doing that. So he thought, no, we are depriving. Then he stops. At that time there was cars had just started coming. So there was horse carriages and bullock carts. So he said, I will never ride a bullock cart or a horse carriage, because I feel the animal is suffering because of me, so I don't use it. It's your way of looking at it. Wrong or right is according to you, decide it. What is good for you, you take. What is not good for you, you don't take. You choose your food, define your food, even classify your food accordingly. The whole world will say it is vegetarian, you say no, it is not veg, it is non-vegetarian. Don't take it if you don't like. So life is this. When you see a larger picture, the whole, your reaction changes. In the same way, in our personal spiritual life also, if you want to see only one part of your life, your decisions will be accordingly. But you take a larger picture. That was Sri Krishna told to Arjuna, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavaja Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, many lives you and me have passed. Tani ham veda sarvani. I know all of them. Natvam vetta parano. You do not know that. So you see only this much. So because of that you decide this is correct, which is incorrect. So one who sees a larger picture has a different solution. One side we call it a progress, but in other side, do you think it's a progress? I do not know. Two different lines. When we were students or when our fathers were students, when established schools did not come, so there is one teacher who teaches you all the subjects. Now started, he is a maths teacher, doesn't know anything about geography, doesn't know anything about English grammar. So we say he is a specialist. Doctors, for example, the specialization came much later. Earlier we had doctors only, then they became general physicians. And if you say, he is a general physician, he is not a specialist. As if general physician is little lower than the specialist. But actually specialist is lower than the general physician. Because specialist knows only that specialized field only. He doesn't know about the whole body. Knows in general. But a general physician used to know. That's why if you go to the traditional doctors, I can keep on speaking about how medical doctors used to be earlier times. It was almost like miracles. Because they grew a sense because they know the whole body. As soon as you enter the doctor's cabin, looking at your walk, looking at your face, he starts diagnosing what could be your problem. Then only he will see your eyes and tongue and all that. We had many are there. Anyway, we don't go for that. When you know the whole picture, then your perception will be different. When you know only part, maybe you know more about that part, could be. We had a Swami here. He says, earlier there used to be general physician, now you have an eye specialist. He knows whatever latest about eyes, he knows. He said, in future what will happen? So he is a left eye specialist, he is the right eye specialist. Because there is nothing more specialization to be done. Now also already is done, you see. I don't do operation, I do only this function. I do only this function of eyes. I don't see the other function of eyes. So whether to know less and less is a greatness or to know everything is a greatness. It depends on how you want to look at it. Idea is this, that life has to be taken from holistic point of view. I'm trying to tell what I understand is, when children go to colleges and all that, sometimes their selection is correct, sometimes over ambitious, but their mark sheet shows that they're eligible, so they go to medical, this and that profession, but cannot sustain. So much pressure of study and pressure of work, they cannot sustain. So one or two of them I saw there failing miserably. Not only failing, but now it is taking toll on their life. The whole family is in trouble because of this. So seeing that, if somebody asks me or if I know someone, I say, you study whatever you like to study. That is not everything of your life. Take the whole life as a package. If you take only that as my life and I fail, you are depressed. But when you have many items in your life, my study is only part of it, correct? What about my parents? What about my other capabilities? What about my nature? Everything you say, no, it doesn't mean anything, only my study is main thing. Anything wrong with that, people are taking their lives because of that. So I say, no, take the life as a package. Academic excellence is one thing, success in life is another thing. All the great people who were highly academic, They don't become the richest people in the world, or they don't go to the highest. People who go on the highest positions are not always the best from academic point of view. Those who are richest are not best in the academic field. So taking life as a package, and whatever I am doing is part of that. Then if that fails, the rest of the life still encourages you to live happily, with little adjustment with that portion which is affected now. Long before, I don't know how development is taking place or it is not taking place. All of us understand, or especially those who drive, your every wheel of your vehicle. In general, earlier technology was, now little change has come. You have tires in your wheels. But tires are important. The most important is the air inside the tire. So when something nail pricks in the tire and it punctures it and the air goes out, your vehicle can move but cannot move efficiently, correct? Long before I am telling you, somebody, an ordinary mechanic, said, this is his invention, but just for understanding I am telling, because we are talking about part and the full. He said, inside the tire earlier used to be a tube. Whether now it is only a tire or a tire and the tube, whichever mechanism we are following, he said, make partition into that. And every partition will have a, what do you call it? Where you push the air, nozzle kind of thing. Valve. For example, your tire is divided into 8 partitions and 8 valves will be there to put the air. Even one gets punctured, the remaining 7 part is intact. And maybe small jerks, but your vehicle will move. This was 25-30 years before I have heard. I don't know whether that technology is put into that. When a product comes in front of you, it passes through not only scientific but also economic discrimination of the country. I am telling about when the cars came into existence. Now you have a, what do you call it, dicky behind where you put your luggage and all that. Or there is a front where there is an engine. There used to be an extra wheel in front or in back, part of the chassis. And when necessary, that vehicle can turn in the same place with the help of the third wheel. 4 wheels are there, the 5th wheel. So front 2 wheels will go up, 1 wheel will come down. On that, 3 wheels can move. 3 wheels can 180 degree, 360 degree can move. 4 wheels cannot. Keeping in the same center, the whole car used to move in 1930s and 40s. That technology, for whichever reason, but it's not being used now. If you are in a big queue, you just take help of that extra wheel, turn your car in the same location and come out. Now you cannot come out because the cars are standing front and behind. What we are talking here is this: the part and the full. There is 2 Sanskrit words which you may like to hear. One is called Vyasti and Samasti. Vyasti is what? We are individuals, is called Vyasti, individuality. Then there is a class, it becomes Samasti. One building is Vyasti, one colony is Samasti. One colony is a Vyasti, one city becomes Samasti. One city becomes Vyasti, and the state or a country become the Samasti. So, individual and collective identity. So here, a larger picture is to be studied. So Sri Krishna says, if you see from this point of view, then only there is a question of freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from all the limitations, which I cannot do. All the science is nothing but becoming free from your limitations, correct? Earlier people used to see like this, but stars I can see a dot, I cannot see more. So we invented a telescope. And the same moon, you can see complete detail about it. Then I cannot see the minute things, so we invented microscope, so that we can see the minute things also which otherwise we cannot see. So by invention of a microscope and telescope, what actually we did? We increased the capacity of our vision, capacity of our eyes. Science from this point of view is the same as religion. Break your limitations. Break your individual and become larger. We don't need to break our body, but breaking the limitations of your mind and identifying with larger group. Animals are sometimes very selfish. They fight for a piece of bread. But the same mother animal, there are hundreds of examples are there. If you give a piece of bread to that mother dog, she takes in the mouth and goes somewhere where 3-4 puppies are waiting for food. Because she identifies with a bigger group. In the same way, people identify with bigger group. Very selfish, then my family should be happy. Then maybe my clan should be happy, maybe my country should be happy, like that. So expanding yourself is from spiritual sense. Science, expanding your capacities, whether eyes capacity, ears capacity, vision capacity. There was nothing called live telecast 2 decades before. Now you can see on TV exactly at the same time what is happening. Now I am speaking here, so people on Facebook can immediately, I speak and they hear. This was not possible. So what we did, we eradicated the limitation of distance. Somebody is sitting in India, somebody is sitting in Argentina, somebody is sitting in America, we do not know. But it has removed that distance part. Sound, I can't shout from here to India. But there is an instrument which makes my voice go there. So science also does the same thing, encompassing more and more, or studying more and more the minute things which are invisible otherwise. So idea is this, that whichever way, from spiritual way or scientific way, we must expand ourselves. Swami Vivekananda says, expansion is life. That expansion is not expanding my property, expanding my estate, not from that point of view. Expanding my consciousness, expanding my feeling. I give you example, when tsunami had come, Singapore did not suffer, but Singapore was the foremost country to contribute maximum outgoing money for the country who suffered. Whether money went to Sri Lanka, whether money went to Indonesia or Malaysia. But maximum outgoing money was donated from Singapore. Why? We are not affected. I am not affected. But my consciousness is extended. Those who suffer are also my people. Politically, language is different, country is different, race is different, religion is different. All the differences are put aside. Only we are human beings. If I suffer, you help me. If you suffer, I help you. So the expanding consciousness is the goal in spirituality also, goal in science also, but it manifests in different way. We'll see later. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Next Saturday on 14th we have birthday celebration of Swami Vivekananda. The program you can see in the website also. And all of you are invited. Thank you.